Hi, this is Jack Stanley, and I wanted to talk more on this coronavirus, things I didn't mention before. And it's interesting because, I live in Chicago, and they just announced that they're going to be closing all like bars and restaurants and places where people gather for the rest of the month. Um, I imagine it won't be too long before they might do that with businesses where everybody's working together, and we'll all have to self quarantine ourselves for like 2 weeks or so. It's an interesting thing, but I think I want to mention several things here. First off, as I have mentioned, make sure you wash your hands. I wash my hands many, many times a day. Take, sanitary papers that you have in those tubes for cleaning, and uh, wash down your cell phone, your keyboard, doorknobs, things like that. Things you touch all the time. It's great to wash your hands, but make sure you sanitize other things that you touch, because if you just wash your hands and everything else isn't, free from this or that, could cause you problems. Now, we also have to put this into perspective, of course. There has been 22,000 people who have died from the flu. We get the flu every year. Everybody gets a flu shot. If you haven't got a flu shot, go get one. And all those people that are against inoculations, get out of the Stone Age and make sure you get inoculated. Protect yourself and your family. Other things that are very, very important as well is news programs. News programs are are telling you lots of information. Sometimes information that isn't totally correct, and also they're whipping in a lot of hysteria. Now, you have to understand that hysteria is something that makes them money. And so they will do everything they can to get you excited, because the more excited you get, the more you watch and the more money they make. That's the way news works today. So the days of Walter Cronkite are long over. Other things to remember. Let's make sure we put everything in perspective. As I said, 22,000 people have died from the flu. A much marketably smaller amount of people have died from this coronavirus. Now, I'm not trying to belittle it, because we don't know too much about it yet. We're still learning about it. We're still understanding how it's transmitted and things like that. These are things that we will learn in time. But right now, we're drawing at straws in many respects. And viruses mutate and they can change into various things. And that's why it's always interesting when flu shots come out every year. You're trying to get something that covers the virus that everyone's aware of. And sometimes they don't have all of them. And this is something totally different. And we've gone through this before. We've had various flus, the swine flu and this flu and that flu, going all the way back, before they even knew what flus were exactly, the Spanish influenza and the end of 1918, 1919. At the end of World War I, there was so much death from that. And a lot of it took place coming into the United States were a lot of soldiers. And they all came back on these massive ships, and they were all packed together. And of course, the transmission rate was frighteningly exponential. So we're not doing that today. We're keeping ourselves separated as much as possible. If someone's sneezing around you, wash your hands. Stay away from lots of people. Another thing that's very, very important, let's not politicize this. I don't want to hear about politics right now. We're one family of people. And we're one family that can be affected by this. So let's focus on that. And let's not make this a political issue. I think that's foolish. In the future, believe me, you will hear all about it. But for now, all these people that are propagating fear and political intrigue are causing no good move for any of us. Because what is happening is you ever see the musical The Music Man? And he comes into a town and he's trying to find a way to get the people upset. And he says, we got trouble right here in River City. Starts with a T and rhymes with P and rhymes with pool. There's a pool hall, and everybody gets excited. Before long, there's mass hysteria. That is what's happening here. We have everybody hysterical because they're watching the news. They're watching YouTube, and watch some of the people on YouTube because they're just doing everything in their power to get people upset. Now, granted, we should take every measure possible to protect ourselves. And that is using some common sense. Keep yourself clean. Stay away from crowds. And if the case may be, self-quarantine yourself. As I said, I don't know what's happening in the cities. It could very well be happening in New York. It could be happening in California and various areas. I hear there's a lot going on in Ohio. But here in Chicago, there's 66 cases as of the last count. It could, expand, and it could expand exponentially. We don't know. All I'm saying is, my friends, we're one human family. Let's do our best to stand together and get through this. And we will. We've done this 1,000,000 times. In the history of mankind, we've gone through flus. We've gone through viruses. There's been various problems in our history. Study our history a little bit, then you'll understand how many times we have gone through problems. And in 1918, you have to remember, with the Spanish flu, which a lot of people want to compare to this, it's a big difference. There were no antibiotics in those days. We didn't have penicillin. You got the common cold, you could die from it. All right? This is a totally different world. And if somebody tells you that this pandemic is just like the one in 1918, remind them that we do have antibiotics now. We have a lot of things that they didn't have a century ago. And that's very important. But through all of this, remember, if you see somebody that's Asian, they did not bring this disease here, okay? I am really upset about that. And, I told Jason to be careful. You got to be careful. People have been attacked all around this country and all around the world. People are being killed who are Asian because people are afraid of the virus. Well, hello. Killing them and getting their blood on you is pretty stupid. But unfortunately, we've got people this stupid in the world. But I'm telling you, my friends, be careful, be smart, be clean. That's the most important part of this. And don't worry about toilet paper, okay? In supermarkets, insanity prevails. People are grabbing toilet paper. I'd rather grab, vitamins and nutrients and things that'll help me. You don't need that much toilet paper. I mean, you can't eat it. Make sure you have enough food. Make sure you have enough things to take care of yourself. And this will pass, and this will be over in due time. And then we can kind of look at what we did, look at how we handled things, look at how we reacted to things, and learn from it. And when the next pandemic comes, we'll know more, we'll know better, hopefully. But unfortunately, the passenger in the car seat with you is usually going to be hysteria. And so we have to keep him quiet. Take care, my friends. Be well and be healthy. Thank you.